Lamb Chops looking fantastic in practice, running around the field. No brace in sight, no sleeve, nothing. This guy looks like he's ready to rumble and lamb people in week number 7.
Get lamb.
Rashee Rice expected to get a monster workload in week number 7 as well. We've got Ashton Jeanty, 20 carries per game, says his head coach. A lot of positive news walking into today's show. No negativity on today's show. No, sir.
Mashed potatoes.
Begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So we have tons of news to go over. Most all of it is positive. And starting off, since his beautiful mug is on screen right here, Rashee Rice. Ring. Hello? Yes, Mr. Rice. Hey, very good to hear from you, sir. Yeah. Oh, yes. How many receptions are you going to have? You're going to have 10 targets. 10 plus targets. Okay. At least one touchdown and 90 plus yards. We can accept that. Thank you, Mr. Rice. That's your first game back, sir. That would be plenty. Thank you. Rashee Rice going to the mother freaking moon. No, not the moon. No, not Mars. Not Saturn, but Jupiter. Right from Jump Street. Right from Jump Street. Rice is coming back into the fold, catching balls all over the field. And keep in mind that this man, Patrick Mahomes, has been running for his life. And he doesn't run. He said himself, I don't run until the postseason. I save my body. But yet he's having to carry this team on his back and become the rushing attack. This guy becomes the running back. He becomes the rusher of this offense through short passing situations, quick slants, end arounds even. But they're going to get this kid the ball, shower him, pepper him with targets at and around the line of scrimmage in wide back situational passing. That this is going to become the short yardage game. Mahomes no longer needs to run the ball. He'll have a nice 20, 30-yard untouched run. That will happen because of this kid spreading the field and spreading the defense. But this is going to be a peppered target situation. This is going to be dominating the slot, dominating and lining up all over and around the line of scrimmage in ways that are hard to contend or double team. And his ability to navigate across the middle of the field, especially close to the line of scrimmage, where he can make a quick slant and drag across the field. Mahomes magically throws him the ball, no looks, shuffles, underhand, Jalen Hurts, granny throws, whatever the case may be. 9, 10 targets a game. This is a top 5 wide receiver go forward, and it's just inevitable.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
We've been waiting for this. Rashee Rice owners have been waiting patiently for his return, his top 5 wide receiver return. Can't wait for the glory days that await us, Rashee Rice owners. CeeDee Lamb. How many people own CeeDee Lamb and Rashee Rice on the same roster? Raise your hand right now.
I smell meatloaf.
I happen to be one of those individuals in about 50% of my leagues. I am waiting for Rashee Rice, CeeDee Lamb tandem to double team my opponents week in and week out going forward. This is like the WWE, the Lamb and Rashee Rice duo. This wrestling duo that's going to body slam and suplex my opponent every single week. Raise your hand if you own both of these individuals on one roster. This is going to be the day of reckoning in week 7 on Sunday. Lamb looks ready to rumble. All of the reports and video footage, by the way, that we can actually witness show this guy out there cutting, running around, doesn't look hampered whatsoever. There's almost no thought in my mind as to him being limited or not playing in week 7. There'd have to be some sort of crazy setback that hasn't yet happened. Lamb Chops is ready to lamb people for week number 7. So great news across the board for Lamb Chops and Rashee Rice. This next little buddy we like to call Ashton Jeanty, looking like he's going to get, 20 carries a game? His head coach wants to get him 20 totes per game. Raiders head coach Pete Carroll said he hopes handling 20-plus carries per game, 20-plus carries per game is the norm for running back Ashton Jeanty moving forward. He did this in college. He's a carry technician. He knows how to get better. He's kind of like Derrick Henry in that the more carries he gets, the more of a groove he gets into, the more he wears down defenders. And by the third and fourth quarter, no matter how good the defense is, they're so tired of trying to tackle this bowling ball, this wrecking crew, this monster Ashton Jeanty, that he will have his yardage. He will have his breakaway run. This is like Derrick Henry of old, at least. We don't know if Derrick Henry ever returns to his form, but Ashton Jeanty, like the Derrick Henry of old, is the kind of player that he's just always going to have that breakaway run at the end of the game. When the defense is tired, he's got 100 or 99 yards, or boom, there goes the 40-yard touchdown. That's what needs to happen. Now, the game script could be situationally a problem and kind of stand in the way as an obstacle for this game plan of 20 carries per game. But if they stay true to feeding this man at the beginning of the game and keep things close enough to run the ball effectively, that will help them win games and stay in games. So it does need to be a plan of attack that is deployed from the onset of a game so you don't catch yourself behind in abandoning the run. This is the Raiders. The Raiders don't look objectively good, but they do have Brock Bowers pretty much missing the whole entire season. So once Brock Bowers, who is a good buy low, by the way, gets back on his horse, back in the saddle, doing Brock Bowers things, and I still think Brock Bowers does return to top 1 to 2 tight end production once he's fully healthy and back. This is going to be a solid big time improvement for Ashton Jeanty, finding room to run, getting consistent carries, not getting game scripted out, the Raiders not falling too far behind to where they can't run or throw the ball to Jeanty. Remember, Jeanty is one of the best potential receiving backs in the National Football League. You might not know this because you think, oh, all he did was run the ball in college, Smitty. He's not some sort of running back that catches the ball like other running backs, Smitty, so I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about because in college, this man, not last year because he was a little busy trying to break Barry Sanders' record when he had this 26.01 yardage with 29 touchdowns. But the year prior, in 2023, 1347, 14 tutties, 43 receptions for 569 and 5 receiving touchdowns. This is a receiving back. This is one of the better premier potential receiving backs in the National Football League. So, in a way, game script be damned, it doesn't really matter as long as Brock Bowers is back. Once Brock Bowers, and I realize we're still waiting for that day, but once Brock Bowers is back, Ashton Jeanty will take another step forward. Until then, we just got to hope the game script is very, very solid in favor of Jeanty getting the carries he needs to warm up and power up, so to speak, not power down. And Puka Nacua, this is like good news in a sense because the fact that he's being talked about as almost day-to-day makes me feel like there is a shot he plays his next contest. He'll most certainly be out week 7. This report here from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler saying that he's a long shot, Puka Nacua, with the ankle to play week 7. I think you count him out. He's out. Don't consider him playing. But this is good news for him potentially playing in his next contest. Not a lock by any means, but it's certainly a good potential thought and hope that maybe he's not out 3 or 4 weeks, but we'll have to see. These things tend to be different as they unfold. Keep in mind, Brock Bowers said that it's nothing. His knee was nothing, but yet here we are walking into week 7. So Brock Bowers lied to us, or he had a setback and they haven't revealed everything, which is pretty common in this news space nowadays for us, which is unfortunate, but this is the world we live in. And we must adjust and adapt. We must read the tea leaves. We must try and predict what's going on. And that's why this news show right here, Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, this news show that you're watching right here, 8 p.m. Eastern, live whenever big news breaks and live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. This news show at 8 p.m. is taking care of you and trying to dissect these problematic situations. Marvin Harrison Jr. concussion was limited Wednesday, a step in the right direction with the protocol, but still a long ways to go, but better than nothing. Hopefully Marvin Harrison Jr. can get on the field, but it's probably going to be, I would say, 50-50 at this point. Maybe he misses one more game. We'll have to see. Hopefully he can get through that protocol quickly. Jalen Waddle, according to this report right here, Giants are big game hunting for a pass catcher ahead of the trade deadline. Now, this might seem crazy that the Dolphins would even be in the conversation of a trade where they send Jalen Waddle over to the New York Giants, but it's certainly something the Giants could be looking at. And it's not like the Giants are mathematically out of the playoffs or anything. So there is a chance that if they, let's say, win, this is not necessarily happening before week number 7, but if they win and they start continuing to look impressive, and as that trade deadline quickly approaches, they might have a motivation to try and win this year, or a motivation to get another pass catcher in there because maybe they're worried about, we don't know what the recovery time frame is going to look like for Neighbors. We don't know if Neighbors is kind of injury prone, and we want to have multiple options and never be left in this where Dart is scrambling to try and pull things together and make things happen by himself and putting the whole team on his shoulders than suffer injury trying to do too much. And just surrounding him with weapons is a good idea. They feel like now's the time, maybe not this year, but now's the time to start building for the very immediate future, because Jackson Dart, Scattaboo, this is a very exciting team right now. There's some good defensive components here. There's a lot to like about the New York Giants team for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Not this year, maybe not next year, but maybe next year's a warning shot, a little dose of what could be to come. But they do need to build around this Jackson Dart and Scattaboo situation properly. Now, again, nothing's going to happen soon. I don't know that Waddle would be the one on the move. This is just the report I'm bringing to you. I'm trying to dissect it and break it down. I think what we're probably looking at is Olave being the most likely to be moved wide receiver. I think Chris Olave has the most ability to be moved. I think that moving Waddle would be devastating for the future of the Miami Dolphins passing attack. It would also put this coaching staff that's currently there in a bind. It would also, and maybe that changes, but it also puts Tua Tagovailoa in a real bad spot, which he would then fail miserably without Jalen Waddle. So this guy right here, in his current situation where they're not worried about failure, they're probably wanting better draft capital. They're probably trying to there's no jobs that necessarily need to be saved this year based on the performance. So they're in rebuild mode. They have a little more latitude to take a step backwards in order to take 2 steps forward. And this might be the situation. I think Olave to the Giants, Olave to the Steelers, Olave, some say the Bills or the Chiefs. Who knows, whether the Chiefs would even consider adding anybody. I think this is just what the rumors are suggesting, what people want to be the case. I think the Steelers make a lot of sense. I think the Bills make sense, but I don't know if the Bills realize that it makes sense. The Bills seem to be one of those teams that just does not try and solve the problem the way that the average human being would solve the problem. It's almost like the Bills they live in their own bubble. They live in their own world. The more that you tell the Buffalo Bills they should do something, the more resistant, like a little kid, they are to the suggestion. The Bills just don't know what they're doing with wide receivers. They really don't. And the Steelers are a team that would overpay. And the fact that the Steelers are in a win now mode, and I'm not saying they win multiple playoff games or anything. I just think the Steelers are, and shockingly to me, because I did not expect Aaron Rodgers to be marching this team in the direction it's going right now. The defense, everything's kind of clicking, and there's a real shot that this kind of trade goes down. whether it be the Steelers, whether it be the Buffalo Bills, whether it be the New York Giants. So hang tight. Olave more likely to be moved than Jalen Waddle. So hang tight for more news on that. But Waddle certainly in the conversation today, whether you believe it to be true or not. We have Calvin Ridley injured, but it doesn't look like it's necessarily something that's going to for sure hold him out multiple weeks. But hamstring did not practice Wednesday. You got Van Jefferson, you got A.O. Manor, and you got a rookie quarterback in a very inconsistent offense that's losing a big piece and component of that offense. So it's hard to imagine them functioning very well. But, you know, you could go Van, you could go A.O. Manor if you're in desperate, dire straits with bye weeks and injuries. But I'm not super excited about either one. I'd much rather go in a different direction. I'd much rather go in the direction of a Whittington, in the direction of something along those lines. And we've got, you know, other waiver wire potential players that make sense. I really, really like Kendrick Bourne, who still seems to be available in a crazy amount of leagues. Mac Jones loves him. The report from back in New England carrying over. Denny, call back in just a few minutes. Denny's trying to call in, and I'm trying to get through this news. But Denny, as soon as the phone lines are actually, you can call him before the phone lines open. Just give me a few minutes, and then Denny, if you're watching, I don't even know if Denny's watching. He sometimes just calls in. Garrett Wilson knee did not practice Wednesday. This is probably going to be a multiple week injury. I don't think it's just one game. I think it will at least be the 2 games. But again, kind of like with Puka Nacua, the fact that we're hearing day-to-day updates and they're kind of taking it as a day-to-day approach makes me feel pretty confident that this could be maybe a 1 to 2 week thing versus a 4 or 5 week thing. Garrett Wilson's also somebody that could end up being traded. I think Pittsburgh is a situation where I could see this happening. I could see the Pittsburgh Steelers reuniting Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson with DK Metcalf and Pittsburgh trying to go for a big swing. Pittsburgh is the one team that would overpay for a wide receiver. They've been trying to get a big name wide receiver next to DK for the longest time. Don't ask me why they didn't sign George Pickens to a long-term deal. I think he just was unhappy there. The two sides did not want to be together anymore, and that's what happened. But it's kind of wild that they were going to potentially, and Pickens was in diva mode, and they were concerned about his personality, and so were we. But getting traded over to the Dallas Cowboys, as I predicted with Antonio Brown, how that situation, that diva mentality got put on pause for a little while, Pickens could unravel again in the future year or two as he wants money and he starts becoming a diva again. He paused it because he's happy. And so Pittsburgh couldn't make him happy. Although they paid him, they could have made him happy. But Pittsburgh's been, this is one of the rare cases where a team brings in DK, trade Pickens away, and then go and try and get another George Pickens. Like, it's so wild. The Pittsburgh Steelers are strange in the way that they move and operate. But Garrett Wilson is certainly a player, depending on the injury, that could very much pop up as a player that gets traded to a Pittsburgh Steelers team. Because the Jets are in shambles too. The Jets are in shambles. The Saints are in shambles. The Giants aren't necessarily in shambles. They're actually playing pretty admirable football. And so that's why they're one team that could still go and try and navigate these trade waters. Chuba Hubbard is will split the workload with the backfield, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Now, you could say that's crazy talk, but coming from his own head coach, Canales said that this is a we'll see. We'll have to wait and see approach with these two running backs. Keep in mind, Chuba Hubbard has earned not to be discarded. Maybe Dowdle in his 2 games against 2 very bad defenses, not trying to take away from Dowdle's performances, but maybe Dowdle has earned his right to get a share of the pie. No doubt about it. But let's not forget how many years now Chuba Hubbard has played really good ball. And I think there's some loyalties there, and there's some recognition that the defensive matchups for Dowdle have been pretty advantageous, and that they do need to see both of them on the field to give a hot hand lean here and there to which running back could go forward. So if you have Dowdle, I'm not saying sell him. I think buying Dowdle, holding Dowdle, selling Dowdle are all very viable options depending on the angle you're coming from, depending on the cost of entry, depending on if you're playing with the house's money and Dowdle, you might want to sell high and just get something that you know will be consistently there for you, like a George Pickens, like a Lab McConkey, just to make sure you don't lose everything and it goes from top of the mountain down to cellar dweller value. So just something to consider, but there definitely will be a split, and it'll be a hot hand decision if they do decide from the split to lean one direction or the other. Now, you could say Rico Dowdle is going to take the situation and opportunity by storm, and you might be right. And so that's why it's not smart to just discard Dowdle or run away from him. But it is smart, in my mind, always will be, to explore sell high situations when you can get into safer vehicles, where even if the player, and this goes back to my continued Christian McCaffrey trade advice, whenever you can take a player A and turn them into a player B and a player C, and player B and C together are equal to player A never dropping off, then why would you not do it? When you can dilute your risk of player A into two players, and these two players, if they perform like they're performing, not even getting better, if they perform equally to player A, you make the trade. So in the case of Rico Dowdle, you trade Dowdle away if you can turn him into even if it's one safer player like George Pickens or whatever. You do this if you can afford to do it. If Dowdle's your starting running back too, and you just got lucky that everything lined up right, then you probably can't make this trade, but you could potentially make a different trade. You could go after a running back. You could throw Dowdle plus another player and take a gamble on a Derrick Henry and say, yeah, maybe Henry falters, but this is a good potential move for me. Or if you could trade for Judkins right now, who for some reason people are running away from. Dowdle and a player like here, QJ would have come to mind until he got injured, but you still might be able to use QJ in this spot. Keenan Allen, other players come to mind that you could throw into this little spot here, make this 2-for-1 feel a little bit more dynamic, and then get the player that is doubted. And then if Dowdle continues to ball out, you don't feel bad because you got a player you believe will be just as good as a balling out, non-injured, not dropping off Dowdle. That's how you make a trade. If you can't make a trade that doesn't make you feel good, even if you're wrong on the player you're trading away, you made the wrong trade. If you're trading CMC, a lot of people don't understand this. They will continue. The CMC people they don't listen. They don't even understand what I'm saying. If you can't go trade CMC for two players that, even if CMC continues to ball out, if you don't get two players that you believe will be fantastic and you can sleep at night, breaking even, being flush on the deal, you made the wrong trade. If you don't have two players that equal Christian McCaffrey, if he doesn't get injured and continues to ball, you made the wrong trade. You're not listening to Smitty. You're hearing him, but you're not really listening to him. So that's the same thing. Every trade you make, you should always be able to, in the worst of scenarios, you miscalculated. The player you trade away continued the ball. You sold high and you didn't need to sell high. You should break even in a worst case scenario, or you made the wrong trade and you have only yourself to blame, because you can come in here and drop a super chat, ask a question at any moment, and we'll do group think, or I'll give you my advice, whatever the case may be. But the fact that people still don't understand that concept is mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. And yeah, Chris McCaffrey still looks good, doesn't he? Guess you feel stupid now. Absolutely not. In any scenario where you've traded Christian McCaffrey, you've gotten two amazing players. It's very, very simple. People that don't understand it, you can't help them at this point. You just can't. Come on! All right, let's hit these super chats. That's all the news right now. A lot of information today. A lot of good stuff. Mostly good stuff. Mostly positive news. Let's see if we got any super chats, $20 haulers or above. We got one from Ron. Ron's a $50 water right now. Look at that wad right there. $50.
Give me $50 holler.
We call him $50 Wad Ron, is what his new nickname is. PPR team is Lamar, Bijan, Brees, JCM, Dowdle. There's Dowdle. Vidal, look at that. Harvey, Hendy, wait on those two individuals, my boy. Puka, Egbuka, BTJ, QJ. Other team wants to trade. Their team is Jaden Daniels, Gibbs. So I'm going after Gibbs per my video. Vidal is a very good piece to include in this so that they feel very, very needing to make a move type of. Rice, I love Rice. I would go after Rice. Would I go after Rice using maybe, let's see, you got Bijan, Brees. Maybe you're giving up QJ and Vidal. Maybe you're giving up BTJ, who I do trade. Maybe Igbuka. You could trade Igbuka for Rice. You could trade Igbuka and Vidal for Rice and something. That might be an intriguing trade. Chat, would you take Rice and give up Buka and Vidal, given that Buka might miss 2 weeks, then be out the bye week? Would you give up and surrender Vidal to make that Rice for Igbuka swap? And if not, do BTJ. Keep Igbuka and don't trade Buka. Trade BTJ and Vidal for Rice. That's probably what I would try and do. In fact, do that. Don't even make him think Igbuka is even available. And try and go after that scenario and try him and make him understand that if he doesn't take it, he's not getting Vidal. Say bye-bye to Vidal. Bye-bye, Vidal. Bye-bye, Vidal. Vidal's in my lineup. You make him think that this is the last opportunity, Ron, he's ever going to get a chance to even speak to Vidal. And so keep Buka's name out of his mouth. That's what I would do. And BTJ is a nice piece. I mean, he should be able to feel pretty comfortable about getting BTJ. But that's chat. Vote on that. BTJ and Vidal or Rice. Vote in the chat. Smitty, I'm 4-2. Team is Knicks, London, Brees, Bill, Woody, Marks, Michael Carter, Aaron Jones, and Joku. Was offered Achane and Diggs for my London or Chase and Bill. I think Achane and London are very close. I really like London, though. I think London's going to ball the rest of the season. I like Chase a lot. I kind of feel like I like Chase in London slightly more than Achane, given his offense, given his coaching situation, given the turmoil that is brewing there in Miami. I just fear a little bit about opportunity could get taken from Achane at any moment. And so, I not that I'm scared to trade him off for in any situation normally. I'm just saying when we're talking about Jamar Chase in London. If I was to trade one of them, it would be Jamar Chase. I don't know that I'm giving more. Jamar Chase probably ranks ahead of Achane in any sort of go-for rankings you could find. So I think you're probably just doing a one-for-one. Chat, vote. Would you rather have Achane or Jamar Chase? I guess if your wide receivers are your running backs, Brees, you got Bill. You kind of need an RB, though. Brees and Bill. If you trade Chase, you'll kind of need a wide receiver, though. So you're kind of in a tough spot. If it were me, I'd rather trade. I don't know if this is the right trade for you. I wish you could get, let's say, like a Judkins and a London before he bounced back. So you need to go after another wide receiver. An Adams and a Judkins for Jamar Chase is probably a better trade for you. I love Achane, but maybe you can turn Achane into that, though. Maybe Achane's got more trade value than Jamar Chase. He actually might. But that's something that I would do. Yeah, I probably, maybe do that trade. You need a running back badly, too. Go get Achane for Jamar Chase only. Don't give him Bill. Don't give him any extra additives. And then you just keep him or you shop him. And you shop him because he's probably more tradable. You're shopping him for a Judkins and an Adams or higher. That's it. Otherwise, you kind of stand down. You're 4-2. Your team will be fine. I like the squad. But I guess at the end of the day, give me Achane by a hair. But there is a little bit more risk with Achane than I think people realize right now. But we love him. We love him. We're not running away from him at all. He's one of our favorite players. One of our absolute favorite monsters. We love Igbuka, but I need a running back. Igbuka for Jeanty. I would probably take that trade if you're in dire straits for an RB. Because you got 2 games without Buka. It's not a bad move at all. It's not a bad move at all. Saquon or Jeanty, I'd probably take Jeanty, my boy. I mean, there's a world where Saquon can ball but I'd rather have Jeanty by a country mile, especially with this news that he's getting 20-plus carries a game, according to his head coach. Got offered Allen and Henry for Achane and Dak. Give me Achane and Dak. I think Dak is playing amazing football, so why are we going to question him now that he's getting maybe the best receiver in the league back? Trade Tet for BTJ. I'd rather have BTJ. Close call, though. Very, very close call. I think BTJ is just a better player. Hopefully Rice gets more than dump-offs. Tyler, that's what he does best with, though. I'm not saying that it's going to be dump-offs in the backfield, but giving him a quick 5-yard slant, giving him the ball at the line of scrimmage, he takes it, deeply downfield, bro. So don't worry about it. Trade Diggs or Worthy for Breece Hall. I would probably trade Diggs for Breece Hall. Diggs is still going to be up and down. I like Worthy a little bit more. I like Diggs a lot, but Diggs is not going to be a baller all year. He's going to be inconsistent at times. Chase Brown, he's not getting all the snaps that you would think. He's actually doing a lot with a little. Chase Brown and Worthy for Hampton and JMO. Give me Chase Brown and Worthy. Hampton's out too long, bro, for me to make that move or be on that side of that trade. Who can I drop? Dart, Gainwell, Harvey, or Marks? I'd probably drop Gainwell, who's trapped in a running back by committee situation. I do like him, but I don't think anything's going to evolve from his solid production during his one lone start. Trade my McMillan for A.J. Brown and Harvey. I probably say I do that and then try and flip A.J. Brown. But, never mind. Keep Tet. Tet's consistent. I think Tet's just safer. If you're a gambling man, I don't mind that trade, but Tet's safer right now. Could sell Barkley for 2 out of Judkins, Chase Brown, Olave, JMO. Take Judkins and probably, I would say JMO if you need a wide receiver, Chase Brown if you want to try and move the running back and do like another trade. I don't mind Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown's going to get better. Start 3, Rico, Mason, Judkins, JCM. I don't know why Judkins is even in this conversation. Vladimir, you're completely disrespecting Judkins. It's kind of disrespectful to Judkins. So Rico, Judkins, and then it comes down to JCM and Mason. JCM's got the Cowboys. So as much as we want to, but do we keep running toward this thing or do we wait until we see it happen? I don't know. It did the week prior. I probably lean toward Mason slightly. But I think that call Mason and JCM is probably a later in the week decision. So let's attack that later in the week. 7, appreciate you. Judkins and Fannin for Jeanty. I'd rather have Judkins and Fannin. I like Jeanty a lot, but I do like Judkins as much. You give me Fannin, pretty solid. But you got Tyler Warren. Chat, do we go after Jeanty? Maybe we do here. Judkins and Fannin for Jeanty. He's got Tyler Warren. I guess give me Jeanty. Chat, can we get a vote on this one? This one's so close, I'm wavering. Give me some Jeanty votes so we can push this one over. Jeanty or Judkins Fannin? I'm going to say Jeanty. Let's see what the chat says. Jeanty, 1 vote Jeanty, 1 vote Jeanty. Judkins and Fannin, Jeanty, Judkins and Fannin. Give me Jeanty. Okay, Jeanty wins by about 65%, I would guess. And that's enough for me. Give me the Jeanty side. It's close, though. I mean, I really do still like Judkins. Judkins is going to be good moving forward. People are freaking out on him. It's crazy. 1 PPR start, 2. Sit 2. Probably sitting Harvey for now. And probably sitting, I suppose Hendy for now. Bam's injured right now. I'll set Bam and Harvey, start Hendy. Look, it is what it is. No one's saying it's a safe move, but none of those are safe moves. And then maybe later in the week we move it based on Bam's health. But right now, Bam being banged up, I don't know what his workload is going to look like. Send a trade, my Barkley for Judkins and Buka. I would take Judkins and Buka and run. That's not even close, bro. That's like one of the worst trades ever. Henderson, Flowers, CD, Bucky for my Rice, Judkins, Warren, and Marks. CD, Henderson, Flowers, and Bucky for Rice, Judkins, Warren, and Marks. Goodness gracious, man. Let's take Rice and CD out just to make this look right. So Bucky, Judkins, you got to take the Judkins, Warren, and Rice side, unfortunately, because Bucky's missing time. I love CD, but Rice is going to be as good. And the Judkins Mark side, yeah, that's a really confusing one. Trade Dowdle and Ibuka for Nico and Waddle. I would probably take Nico and Waddle as well. But that's, that could have pros and cons later. Certainly could. Thank you for the questions in Super Chat. Appreciate you. Think Ibuka plays week 8? We don't know, Dan. Our guess is no. Our guess is that he's out through the bye week. They have a bye week in week 9, and he comes back in week 10. That's our guess. We have nothing. They haven't revealed results. No one's talking about anything. Should I trade Hendy and Rice for DK and Judkins? I would take probably DK and Judkins, but that's a really tough call. I love Rashee Rice. This is a tough decision. If Hendy gets on his horse at some point, the Rice-Hendy side will be better. The winds could shift on this one. Know that. But they're not shifted now. And now you have to maybe make decisions. So drop Justin Fields and Mason Taylor, then go get Jared Goff and Tez Johnson. I'm fine with both of those decisions. Sure. Austin, appreciate you. Hey, Smitty, my league is 0.5 PPR, 16-man league, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. HN, Hendy, CD, Rice, JMO, Flowers, tight end, Otten. I was Neighbors owner. I'm 6-6. Okay. Well, your 2 wide receivers are back. JMO's going to play pretty well. HN's a monster. Mahomes is a monster. I don't think I'm moving really anything. I'm just hitting that waiver wire hard. You kind of got to trust in Hendy right now. It's better than diluting some of this talent up, in my opinion. You've got a strong chance. Rice has been out. CD's been out. You're 6-6, bro. You're about to go on a tear. And you just bank on Hendy, man. Put your faith in it. Doesn't work out. It's not like it's going to crush you. You got a really solid team around him, and he probably still gets you points. So, it's going to be disappointing points for maybe some games, but he still could very much come around. Hopefully, Rice doesn't get dump-offs, or he waited 6 weeks for someone like Cooper Kupp, as Rice owner. I don't know what you're even saying, Tyler, to be honest. You're hoping he doesn't get dump-offs. I hope he doesn't. What do you mean? Like, Rice is a specialist at taking short yardage footballs downfield. That's what you want. I mean, he's going to get some deep work as well, bro, but I don't know why you're pessimistic about Rice. What is leading you to be I hope he doesn't just get what's even causing that concern? Is that just being overly cautious and overly unoptimistic hunger? I don't know where that's coming from, but relax, my boy. 4-2, been dealing in my home league, 10 man, 1 flex PPR. Grade the team. Gibbs, Bucky, Rashad White, good coverage there. London, Jamar Chase, Rice. Rice is back with a new rendition. JMO, like the team, love the team, not touching it, waiting on Bucky because you've protected yourself. You got Harvey in the wings. You got Woody in the wings. Stand down. That team is actually better than a 4-2 team by a lot.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
And you know that because you got Rice coming back, and you've been waiting on that. JMO's hasn't been doing anything until right now. So you know that team's going to ball out. You're a 4-2 team, but you're disguised. You're a monster waiting to unleash. Stand down. Don't do a thing. BTJ Kelsey, I also have fan in for Rice and JCM. Give me Rice and JCM. Rice is just a monster. Don't listen to Tyler. Rice fan in for Buka Warren. Very, very close. I would probably lean toward Rice fan in because I don't want to wait on Buka. But if I'm 5-1, 6-0, then of course I think I more hesitate on this. But I do think fan in without Njoku's going to go crazy. Njoku's not out for the year. So you got to consider that too. Buka, when he comes back, will he be slow moving the first game? Will he be a monster right away? Hard to say, but I would definitely say if you're not 5-1 or 6-0, the Rice side is a little bit more attractive at the end of the day. More valuable keeper asset 2025, Drake May, Buka, or JD5. And a 1 QB, it's Buka. And a 2 QB, it'd probably be JD5 or May. And that's debatable at this current moment. But there's no doubt in my mind that's the wide receiver in a 1 QB. Trade was vetoed. Rice for Derrick Henry. That's a ridiculous veto. Doesn't matter what side you like or whatever. It's a ridiculous veto. I'd leave that league. Tell them that I said that's an awful decision. 10. I got Baker, Lamb, London, Bucky, Rice, Buka, Kraft, Debo, Mason, Harvey, Marks, Vidal, JCM. How's my team? You know, people that veto, you can tell this to your league too. People that veto trades like that, it's corrupt because they don't want someone to have an advantage at all. You know, and the worst part in those leagues is if it was to go the other way, if the better team was to get screwed on a trade like that, they wouldn't veto it. And that's when you know there's corruption involved. And it's not even like they're planning to be corrupt, like, hey, let's all collude. It's more like just mentality, corruption mentality. Just a bias that where they would veto one way but not the other way. I can guarantee you that's the way they wouldn't veto in favor of the best team. If the best team in the league made a bad trade that was lopsided more so than that one, your league wouldn't do a thing. Your league would sit on its hands and go, ha ha ha, let it go through, because that's corrupt thinking. That's why vetoes are more corrupt than non-vetoes. Having vetoes is a very, very corrupt, potentially corrupt situation in a league. It leads to a lot of corruption. How's my team? Do I stand down or trade for a running back? I like the squad. Lamb and London, you almost got to let that play out a little bit. Baker's playing fantastic. Rice, Buka. I guess I would maybe move like Buka and Mason now for like Judkins and something, or Buka for Judkins and something. You know, I think that would be interesting. Henry and something, Barkley and something. Not bad. I don't necessarily need to trade Buka, obviously. If you can start Lamb, London, Buka, and Rice, start all 4 wide receivers, then maybe you hold off on that and you trade Debo and Mason for 1 running back. ETN, Henry, Barkley. In fact, don't touch Buka. Use Debo to get that done, and I definitely would make a trade like that. That would be pretty good for you. My London for Devontae Adams and JCM. I'd probably rather have London than both of those players. Give me London. London's the guy. My Nico for May and Kyron. I have Fields and Rice and Lamb. I would probably say my Nico for May. I'd take May and Kyron. Yeah, definitely. MHJ or Diggs rest of season. Give me Diggs. I don't know. I guess give me Diggs. That's crazy. I could go either way. ETN or Chase Brown rest of season. ETN. Just make sure you do everything in your power to cuff him. Sorry you clarified it for me. Thank you, Tyler. Just don't doubt your boy Rice, or I'll tell him. I'll take away your Rice card. What realistically can you get for Hampton? J-Mo, Monty, Mike Evans, Lad McConkey, if you're lucky, Terry McLaurin, who will eventually come back maybe this week. So those are the kinds of players you could maybe get. Flex 1 tight end, Bourne. Flex 1 flex, 1 tight end. Bourne, Brees, Shaheed, Warren, Kittle, Warren. And then probably you could go Kittle as the other play, but I would probably say let him, assuming everything goes well, let him get back to normal first. I'd probably go Brees Hall and Warren. Bourne's pretty interesting, I suppose. Depending on Kittle, Bourne could become that second piece, but if Kittle's back, then it's tough. That's a tough one. I'd probably lean toward, I guess, Warren and Brees for right now. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. This one from Gio. Gio, thank you for the super. Look at all these hospital emojis for this guy. 4-2, still doing it live though. CMC, White, Rico, Hampton, Benson, B-Rob, Rome, Buka, Tet, J-Mo. Jeez. Rushy Rice. Is that Rushy Rice? You got the Rice emoji. Man, Brock. Man, you got hit with injury bad. I'd let this ride out, bro. The only thing I would do is you're just letting it all kind of come together. With Rice coming back, you'll be fine. I'll let Brock get healthy. I'll let Buka get healthy. You're at 4-2. You can afford to wait on these guys. Maybe you're trading like a Rico and Hampton for some sort of Henry or Barkley or something like that. But other than that, Gio, I like this team, man. you're kind of like disguised as this team that's been getting beat up and no one really realizes how good you are. Judkins for London. I'd rather have London by kind of a lot. It doesn't mean I don't love Judkins. I do, but I just think London is a top 8 player maybe going forward. Starting May, Bijan, JCM, Adams, GSN, Booty, Hubbard, Hendy, Coker. Now 3-3 after week 8. All my buys are done. Wow. That's crazy. 0-2, 3-3. Nice. I'd probably say with all your buys are done. After week 8. Okay. I was going to say, all your buys are done. What have you done? No, they're not. I'm looking at your team. You mean after week 8, all your buys are done. Okay. Sorry. For a minute there, I was like, what is he saying? That would be remarkable. And I'm like, these guys haven't had buys yet. After week 8. Okay. Bijan, Adams, JSN, BTJ. I like it. I don't know that you can really do anything, to be honest, bro. I think you just kind of wait it out. Bijan's fantastic. That bye week's out of the way. Drake, May, Adams. You're hoping for JCM to do something. You're hoping Hubbard does come back to a job. You're waiting for Hendy or Woody Marks to explode. Mason's pretty solid right now. Oh, that's Mason Taylor. I just wait. I think I wait. I'd maybe sell like Laporta, throw Mason Taylor into the tight end spot, and trade like Laporta and JCM for a Henry, a Barkley, an ETN. Of course, you could probably get a running back for that. That's what I would work on, Gent. That would be the most logical move. Use the Laporta value to try and get into that RB. That's it. That's the only thing I'd move. I wouldn't move a single other thing. Smitty, Flex, Keenan, Rico, or Waymo. Who the hell's Waymo? Who the hell's Waymo? And who the hell? Waymo better be JJ or CeeDee Lamb. You can't sit Rico right now. You can't. I don't think you can. The only reason you sit Rico is if you've already sat him and you're just trying to justify it. BBQ with a super chat. Appreciate you, BBQ, with the $10 hauler. Why is my screen so delayed? Rice's role, the same role he had as a top 4 wide receiver before he got hurt. His role is the same one. I love that people are like concerned about it. Rice's cheat code attached to elite QB. God, Mahomes is doing good. I'm so excited for Mahomes. All these Mahomes haters. All these Mahomes were never, according to all the experts, Mahomes as a top 5 quarterback. That's gone. He's no longer a top 5 quarterback. Smitty, I'm in trouble. 2-6. Goff, Kamara, Monty, Rice, Shepard, Puka. Yeah, you might have to look to explore Puka. You lost Malik Neighbors. Puka for an Adams and Judkins. Puka for a Judkins and something. Puka for a lad and a running back. Look at Henry. Look at Barkley. Look at Judkins. Look at ETN. Those would be players that I would go try and attack and get that extra receiver. But bring it to us first. But those are the moves I would be attempting to make. Drop Benson for Bourne. Probably 1 hour spot. You have Hampton in it. I would say I'm fine with that right now. Benson could come back, though. You might want to pick him up like a whole week early. Or, that's tough. But you can't really wait. You're in trouble. You need moves. You can't even have him on the bench. You could try and trade him. But I currently have Darnold, Dobbins, Walker, Rice, AJB, Fannin. What moves should I make them 1 and 5? Probably try and trade Dobbins on the high with AJB for one player. The Henry, the Barkley, the potential Adams and something. Lab McConkey and something. Running backs, as I just mentioned, all those. Judkins, Henry, Barkley, Javonte, Jacobs, ETN. Jacobs will be hard to get. But I think Dobbins and AJB could get at Jacobs. I think it's possible. James Cook on the cheap. You could probably land a James Cook from a James Cook owner who's going, damn, I thought he was going to be good this year. What moves to make? That's what I'd do. Come back once you have a few of those brewing. And if you cook up something else, let me know. But that's where I would go. Javonte, too. Javonte would be a solid go-get. My Addison for Bill. I'd take Addison, I suppose. But it's close. My running backs are Jeanty, Harvey. I guess you do need an RB. Yeah, I'm okay with going and getting Bill. Monty's good. Chase Brown on the cheap. Henry on the cheap. Yeah, I probably would strongly consider Bill, though, in this situation. Mahomes. Debo and then you could trade Debo and Bill for one better running back potentially. I'd probably take that. I like Addison, but Addison is, vulnerable to McCarthy coming back, and what's that going to look like? What's the divide look like? I traded Ibuka for Rice. I'm fine with that. That's a fantastic trade. Any other moves? Not really, other than explore Waller and Hall for a slightly better player. Rico and Waller for a slightly better player. That's the only thing I'd consider. I would even consider like Rico for Henry. Just take a gamble because Rico might be splitting work. So I think Henry's a good buy low. Jeanty, James Cook, Allen, London, Adams, Buka, Bijan, White, Kraft, bench, JMO, 3-3. Any suggestions? Probably going to lean toward not moving London, Adams, Buka, Bijan, or Allen. Would I trade Rashad White and Kraft for one running back? All the running backs I keep naming from Henry to Judkins. Judkins is such a good buy low right now. JMO, Pollard, you could really throw a lot at the owner. Would I trade Ibuka? Probably not. I think I'd want to keep him here. I think you're really well-rounded. I think you can accomplish that running back 2 trade. You could just roll with White. So don't trade just to trade. Like you're trading White and Kraft, or you're trading White, Kraft, and Woody. Or Pollard to get that slightly, Javonte, James Cook doubted player. Henry, something like that, or you're just kind of standing down and you're letting Rashad White do a very serviceable job. Move my Hampton. Go to the Bucky owner, see if you can pull off a Rashad White trade. Move my Hampton and Vidal for JCM and Charbonnet and Dynasty. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hampton and Dynasty, there's no way I'm trading him for that. You got to keep the faith in Hampton. Hampton didn't lose like all of his Dynasty appeal. I mean, it's in question, but Brock, Rice, Lamb Chops, team is 1-5. Is it time for Esteban to stop crying in his Cobb salad and rise from the ashes? Yeah, Esteban, you probably need to. You're going to be fine. I mean, you shouldn't have Brock Purdy as your quarterback unless it's Brock Bowers. I think it's Brock Bowers. Yeah, I think you're saying Brock. You'll be fine, bro. 1-5. Rice and Lamb, let it rip. I don't know what your other options are. Always explore like another trade, but I'm not trading Brock Bowers, Rice, or Lamb. You won't get enough of Brock Bowers. And Rice and Lamb are about to bring you back from the rise you like a phoenix. 12 PPR, Kyron, Jeanty, Ladd, CD, Pickens, Warren. Stand down. Thoughts on both Pickens and CD. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Let him go out there. And one's going to absorb so much. The other you're going to be almost like cover yourself each week. I'm fine starting both of them. Rice owner wants Jeanty. I probably say with your team, I wouldn't change anything. You trade Jeanty for Rice. Now you need a running back. I don't think this is a good move for you. I'd stand down on this team. I think this is a really good squad. Let it run for 1 week with its full capacity, and then take a look at it after that. I think you making a move too early might be a devastating move for you. QB May, Dart, Gibbs, Hall, Rico, Vidal, Spears, Marks, Blue, Tet, Dobbs, Godwin, 1-5 record. What moves to make? Love Gibbs, love May, trading Hall or Rico if possible, Vidal if possible, Tet, Dobbs. You need a big name receiver. I would trade. I don't think you're going to get much for Hall or Rico by themselves. You could trade Rico for Adams. Try that. That might be a good enough trade all by itself. You could go to the Hampton owner, see if they want Vidal and potentially Tet for like a wide receiver upgrade. Or you trade Rico and Tet for a Henry and something, for a James Cook, for a potential Barkley and something. I think you could definitely get an RB. And you could bank on Hall and go after a wide receiver. You could go get JJ using Rico and Tet. Go get Nico, something like that. That would be pretty solid for your squad, I think. Rice, Dowdle for AJ Brown and Gibbs. Woo! Man, I would probably say Gibbs and AJ Brown, but then I flip AJ Brown. But that is close, man. Gibbs is just a monster. Hurts and Rico for Dark and Pacheco. I don't know who the hell Dark is. Do you mean Dak? Or is that Dart? Hurts and Rico for Dak and Pacheco is what I think you mean. I'd take Hurts and Rico, but I do like to trade Jalen Hurts on the high. If you had to drop one for, who would it be? Henderson, Hunter, QJ, Mason, Pearsall. I'm not saying I don't like him, but that's who I'd drop right now. I got Josh Allen on a bye. Who can I drop between Hendy, Gainwell, Woody? I'm dropping Gainwell. Come on. Which of those three do you start at running back 2? Probably, I don't know. We have to decide. Let's lean Woody right now, but we don't know. We need news. We're very far away from that. I would say Woody for now. Hopefully we get better news about Hendy and his workload. What to do with Rico? I have Scat, Brees, Kyron, Barkley. My wide receivers are Chase, Garrett Wilson, Buka. Try and trade Garrett Wilson and Rico for one player playing right now. Offering 2 players that might do the trick. But you'd have to go JJ shopping or something. Rico for Adams. Rico for James Cook. You give up more. Rico for Derrick Henry straight up. Your receivers are okay, so I don't mind you just trading Rico for the Henry. I mean, that honestly, I take a gamble on that. Rico for Barkley. Trade Puka, Hampton, Vidal for JSN and Jacobs. Puka, Hampton, Vidal for JSN and Jacobs. Pretty easy call. If everybody was healthy, it'd be different, but it's not. Dowdle, Brees, Nico, T-Mac, Lamar on the bench. Should I try and trade Buka for a running back? Yeah, I mean, Judkins and something, James Cook, Kyron, Achan. You can get a player like that from Buka. You might have to give up a touch more in certain scenarios with some of those running backs, but not in every case. 14-team league, 4-2, top 8 playoffs. Daniels, Jacobs, Brees, JSN, Tet Pitts, Lamar, Harvey. Need to trade one of Lamar or JD5 for flex. Who do you target? I don't think Lamar is going to get you much injured. So JD5 off a 3 TD game. Adams, Henry, Judkins, Javonte, Jacobs, ETN. If you could get Tootin, even if you can, it's interesting. Adunze with the bye week out of the way. Adunze is a great go get. Rashee Rice, of course. If that were even possible, it probably isn't at this point. I mean, who's going to trade Rashee Rice after waiting all that time? Have PPR start 3, London, Pickens, Rice, Waddle. You're going to go Rice. You're going to go London. I mean, it goes without saying. I think you meant to type, hey, who do I start out of what one player do I start out of Pickens, Waddle, and Rachaad White? That's what you meant to write. Because the fact that you're asking about London and Rice, come on, my boy. Pickens, probably for me. Pickens or Waddle's not bad. Rice isn't bad. I'm just going to go Pickens. And great trio. You have a great set of wide receivers there. That's fantastic. Why are you dropping Dak? I don't know who would be dropping Dak. Dropping Dak would be a ridiculous move. Whoever's doing that. All right. Next super chat from KK. Appreciate you. Denny, you can call in. Denny only. If Denny's still out there. 4-2 trades. Mahomes, Daniel Jones, Gibbs, Bucky, Kyron, Hendy. AJB Hendy for Nico. I'd rather have Nico by quite a bit. By quite a bit, K. By quite a bit. Raul, Smitty had one question left in my last chat. Raul, it's easier if you just ask it again versus having to go find it, because then it just takes longer. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I missed it, but rather than waste this, just ask it again. You can call me out on it, though, but it just takes longer for you to get the answer. That's all I'm trying to help you. Got $5 hauler from, should I try and move from Seattle backfield? I have K9 Sharps, Bucky, Judkins, Harvey, Kendra Miller, or hold to see if K9 gets... I would definitely move on. I don't know what you can fully get, but you definitely would want to potentially move on. Raul, hold on. Denny, hang tight real quickly. Let me try and find Raul's question. Pick up Woody Marks to pick up a QB. Which of those three do you start? I did answer that one. I said we don't know. And what QB do I pick up? Rodgers, Dak, Penix, Darnold, Young. Probably Darnold right now. Darnold or Penix. I don't know. Darnold's got a tough matchup, but I think he's the better long-term grab. So if you're looking for one game, you might want to look at Penix, but I think Darnold's probably the better option. Would you trade JSN, Gibbs, Waddle, Wandell, and Vidal for London, Rice, Saquon? I would take JSN, Gibbs over London, Rice, Saquon. Jeez, man. So JSN, London are even. Rice and Gibbs, Gibbs gets the advantage. And then it's Saquon versus Wandell, Vidal. I'd probably say the London side by a hair, but that is super close. And should I try and move out of the Seattle backfield? I would. I think I would. You got Bucky, Judkins, Harvey. If you're going to go after a running back, that's kind of hard. I think you could go across for an Adams pretty easily and a Dunze pretty easily for wide receivers. For running backs, you want to try and get a Cook or a Javante. And James Cook might be cheap, might not be. Sup, Smitty, 12-man start, 7. I'm 1-5. What do I do? Josh Allen, Jacobs, Jalen Warren, Devontae Smith, Hampton, Buka, Rice. Hold on one, Denny. I'll be right with you. Buka, Rice, Nico, Ferguson, Marks, Tootin. Man, and thank you for this $20 hauler, by the way, Christian.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Let's see here. 12-man. What do I do? Josh Allen. Let's see. Jacobs. Man, I don't know what you can trade on this. Josh Allen. I don't know that you're going to get what you want out of Josh Allen right now. You might want to wait a week. I think Swift could be traded high. Swift and Hampton. Swift and something. Swift and Ferguson maybe roll with Fannin. So Swift and Ferguson for like one player. Like Adams, BTJ, Rashee Rice, Dunze with the bye week out of the way. James Cook on the low. Henry potentially. All names that I would go after, my boy, with that situation. Would you trade... what is this one? Oh, I already answered that one. That was a crazy question. This one here, traded Kyle Pitts and Chubb for King Henry. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that trade. Got offered Dowdle and Pittman and for Bill and Keenan Allen. I want Dowdle and Pittman. You got to get more out of Dowdle. I own Hubbard. What would you accept and no? Dowdle's got more value than that. Thank you for the super chat. Get a lot for Dowdle. Dowdle, you should be able to get the world for. 5-1. Mahomes, Achane, JCM, Puka, JSN, Flex, Hendy, bench, Booty. Any moves or what should I do with the flex? I like your team. The only thing I'd explore at all would be moving potentially Goddard or Kittle. One of those guys. You can move them with Puka to try and get 2 players. So you're moving Puka to get like a Henry and Adams or a Judkins and Adams. And to get that, you're giving up the tight end. That's the only thing I think you could potentially do. And Husseini dropping the $20 hauler. Then I'll go over to Denny in 1 second. Denny, appreciate you waiting. I don't even know if I have audio on Denny.
Alert.
I might
Super
have to.
chat alert.
Denny, are you there? Can you hear me, or do I have to turn on my speaker? I don't know if you're so quiet. I can't imagine you're this quiet. You're probably talking and I can't hear you because I haven't turned on the speaker yet. So Denny, just hang tight. Smitty, did you said try trading JD5 and Sutton for Barkley? Owner said no. Tried trading JD5 and Sutton for Rome and Henry. Owner didn't budge. Any other player recommendations after JD5 Sutton as trading pieces? JD5 and Sutton together for Rice. JD5 and Sutton together for St. Brown, for Nico. JD5 and Sutton together for JSN. Is that the one you just said you did? JD5 and Sutton together for James Cook and something, if you can get something. JD5 and Sutton to get Kyron. JD5 and Sutton to get Kyron and something. Try and get something for Bucky and something. I forget who you have. If you have one of these guys, just ignore what I'm saying and go on to the next one. JD5 and Sutton to get like a Scattaboo and Adams, to get an Adams and something, to get a Ladd and something. Almost maybe go to an owner that has Adams, a Dunze, Ladd, and then see what other second piece they could throw into the deal. I think more importantly, you almost have to maybe come to me with the teams that are QB needy, Husseini, and tell me what their roster is. That might be the only way to truly attack this question properly, because I could just be giving you all these shots in the dark. But if you say, hey, this team needs JD5, here's their roster, I think that's what will allow me to cook up something for you. And last super chat, then we're caught up, and then I go over to Denny. Jeanty, Dowdle, Mason, Vidal. Bench 2. Benching Mason and Vidal. I'm starting Jeanty and Dowdle. I'm sorry, there's one more from Vlad. So what's your take on Rico with Hubbard back? I mean, we just talked about it. We don't know. It's going to be a split situation. I did a whole news section on this, Vlad. It's going to be a split, and the hot hand might get the lean. So if Dowdle can go over there and deliver, you know, in any situation in a split, then they might lean hot hand with him. But Chuba's certainly earned a shot at the split to at least earn the hot hand approach. But I'm starting him over JCM and Mason. Yeah, Dowdle is still a very, very good play. I mean, Chuba might even be limited his first game back. So if that is this week, then it's going to be a potential limit. Denny, are you there, or do I have to turn on the speaker? I think I got to turn on the speaker. He's way too quiet. He's probably tried talking like several times, and the poor guy can't even have his voice heard. Let's go over to Denny. Denny, I apologize. Now we can hear you. I couldn't hear a single word you said the entire time.
I've been trying to talk.
Yeah, I'm sure you. I'm sure you tried to interrupt. I'm almost positive.
No, you've been interrupting what I'm trying to say.
What can I do for you, Denny? Appreciate you.
All right, Dowdle. Why Dowdle? Why are we even talking about Dowdle? Oh, by the way, I miss you, buddy.
The whole show has missed you, Denny. We want you to call in more. We don't know. Hey, Denny, answer this question. Answer this question for Senior Rojo. I'm 4-2. Got offered Whittington or Brian Robinson Jr., the backup to Christian McCaffrey, for his Keon Coleman. I think he'd probably take Brian Robinson Jr. in case CMC goes down, I suppose. I don't think Keon Coleman's down.
Coleman is someday Coleman's gonna come around, but it ain't gonna be today.
Yeah. So Whittington ain't bad. Whittington ain't bad for the week.
He should probably quit the league. That last question, Smitty, I think he should quit the league.
Yes, sir.
So Smitty, what's up, dude? I miss you. Things.
Well, it's good, Denny. You can call in anytime you want. You know, that's kind of on you. We're waiting for you. The chat always says, "Where's Denny?"
You know why the chat loves me? Because we all came up together. We came up from the graveyard, and it used to be something if you just put my name on a tombstone. That meant everything when I first came up.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember that?
Yeah.
And then, to me, became awesome. Like, everyone loved me. But we had guys like Ron Navy, Money Down. We had Rock Out, making rap tunes. We had a lot of things going on.
Hey, Denny.
I love everything about
let me interrupt you here. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I appreciate you. I didn't get to this report yet, and I know everyone in the chat or a few people were talking about it. But yeah, Liam Cohen said that he wants Hunter to be the number one option more often, which is fantastic. Travis Hunter, I know a lot of people want to give up on him, but again, this is the very week number 7 that Jahmyr Gibbs finally played well.
And I think
Jahmyr, hold on 1 second, Denny. Hold on. Jahmyr Gibbs.
We can't go Hunter. I don't know which way to call it. You know, is the offense or the defense? If he gets a pick 6, I'm not getting anything.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Travis Hunter, this is good news for him. And people that want to act like, again, if we go over to Jahmyr Gibbs, if you look at Jahmyr Gibbs' his rookie season, he didn't do a single thing until week number 7. That's the week we're entering right now. So people acting like you can draw a conclusion about Travis Hunter. You don't know rookies. Rookies are up and down. It happens. Sometimes they don't develop until week 7. It sucks. It's not what we want, but it is what it is. Hold on, Denny, 1 second. Kyron and Jeanty still even with the 20 carry news. I think they're pretty even. Yeah, I really, Kyron's been balling, bro. I think Jeanty could very much be as good. How do you feel long-term? JCM worth a late first rounder? I'd definitely take a late first rounder for JCM right now because I don't trust the way they use him. Ibuka, but he could be worth it. Ibuka for Henry, I would take. Have Brees Hall, Rico. I would want more for Ibuka. I'm not opposed to this, but I would want more. 6-0 traded Kelsey for Bowers. I'd much rather have Bowers. Hold on, Denny. Still have Kraft. Yeah, and then does that hurt BTJ? I don't know. Not really. I think BTJ is going to be solid. Trade JC. I think BTJ is still a low end wide receiver one, no matter what. But Hunter will start to get used more. We'll see how he develops. I'm not saying Hunter becomes a top 10 wide receiver every week. Trade JCM and Pickens for Sutton and Judkins. I would trade JCM and Pickens for Sutton and Judkins. And Racing Boy with a $20. Hold on, Denny. A $20 hauler from Racing Boy.
Alert.
Racing Boy, appreciate
Super chat
you.
alert.
$50 hauler. Sorry, $50 hauler. Superflex, 3 wide receiver. Three wide receiver. I'm gonna let him talk over there. 2 running back, 2 flex. Dynasty only good receivers are London, Tet, Booty, but have Horton, Tez, and Bond on the bench. But my running backs are Gibbs, Cook, Bucky. Great running backs. JCM's tradable, potentially. Benson, do I move any pieces to get another wide receiver? I probably would say that I would probably say London, Tet, Booty, you're probably good there. Gibbs, Cook, Bucky. I guess I would maybe move JCM. Denny's. I don't know if you guys can hear Denny over there. Denny's saying London's nothing. London's nothing. Denny, you didn't just say London's nothing. You're just saying what? London's. Do you know what London did last week, Denny? You blacked out? Here, let's go ahead and ask Kruger. Let's have Kruger tell you. Hey Kruger, what was the stat line for Drake London in week number 6? Can you tell Denny? Denny's asking. Denny's one of our avid followers. He would like to know.
Brady. Halloween.
Hold on, Denny. Kruger, what was Drake London's stat line in week number 6? Our follower Denny, our avid follower Denny, doesn't think that Drake London did anything.
No, it doesn't matter. Tell him hi. London.
Come on, Kruger. What's he doing? Do your job. Come on. Can you guys hear Denny? Kruger's worthless right now. Kruger, you're worthless. What am I paying you for, Kruger? What am I paying you for? This is like your moment to shine. I'm trying to have you step on Denny's take, and you're doing nothing. He's broken. He won't even work. All right, Denny, I got to go. I appreciate you, Denny. Call back tonight. Could you guys even hear Denny? Joe, appreciate your membership question. Denny. As far as this team goes, I'd probably say, I mean, you could get rid of Tet. Dynasty only good receivers are London, Tet. You could get, I know you're wanting to get a wide receiver, but you could get rid of Tet and JCM to upgrade Tet. That might be like where my mind goes. I don't think I want to get rid of Cook in a Dynasty, to be honest with you. Cook for, I mean, if it's Dynasty, could you trade for an injured Neighbors? Could you trade Cook for maybe a London right now? Could you trade Cook for Nico? What about Cook for Rice? What about Cook for one of those players? London, Rice, Neighbors, JJ, injured Puka, Egbuka. I'd take Egbuka over Cook. Those. But if I had to go Tet and JCM to try and get a Rice, maybe in a Dunze, a Buka for sure. I would go down those avenues, Racing Boy. Racing Boy, appreciate you. Megan's family, appreciate your super chat. Traded my running back Rico for his Buka. Is that good for me? Yes, that would be fantastic for you. Getting Buka for Rico Dowdle is a fantastic move. God, let's see. Is Kruger even there? Like what a waste. What a waste. What a ball dropper. Just dropping the Kruger, you dropped the ball. I needed you. I asked you advice. You weren't there for me. I was trying to tell you what was Drake London's week 6 stats, and you didn't spit them out. You were nowhere to be found. Hello?
Smitty. Oh man, sorry about that. I definitely didn't mean to drop the ball on you. Let's fix that right now. Drake London's week 6 stats coming right up, and I'll keep that energy up for you. We'll be triple speeding through it, so we're back on track.
And the stats are? And what might those stats be?
Absolutely. Let's get you those numbers super quick. So for week 6, Drake London put up 92 yards on 7 catches and snagged a touchdown in there. So he had a pretty solid game. And next time, I'll make sure I'm right here the second you need those stats.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing. You know, your right-hand man's supposed to be there on the fly. Imagine turning to your co-host and being like, hey, what do you think? And they're like, did you have something you wanted to add, Steve? How many yards do you think I'll have this week, Steve? Let's give him one more try. Kroger, this is Rashee Rice's first game back. CeeDee Lamb's first game back from injury. Rashee Rice from suspension. A lot of people on the show have both of them on their rosters. Give us some juicy stat line predictions for both Rice and Lamb walking into this week number 7. Drop it.
Absolutely, Smitty. Let's crank it up and go full throttle with those predictions. For Rashee Rice, coming off suspension and stepping back in, I'd say he's got a pretty good shot at a strong reintroduction. Let's call it around 5 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. He's hungry and they'll want to get him involved. Now, for CeeDee Lamb, Finn's came back from injury. You know he's going to want to make a statement. I'm thinking we're looking at something like 7 catches, maybe 95 yards and a touchdown as well. He's got that big playability, and I think he'll show it off.
Hey, pump those Rice numbers up a little bit. Okay, redo that one.
Absolutely. We can amp that up a bit. Let's say for Rashee Rice, he's coming back with a bang. Let's boost that line to something like 7 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. We'll give him a little extra.
Little more. That's not enough.
You got it. Let's really crank it up to triple speed for Rice. Let's say he just goes off in his return. How about something like 8 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown? We'll give him that big splash.
That sounds right, Kruger. That sounds right. That sounds right.
Awesome, Smitty. You make me feel like a spaceman with that nod of approval. We'll roll with it.
You're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out. You're absolutely worthless today. Just, you can't even hear me. Frequency is down. Frequency. J1, appreciate you. Start Tez or Whittington. Probably Whittington is safer. Tez, higher risk, higher reward. There's no real answer for that one, to be honest. Ask Kruger if Fergie's still the tight end one with CD Lamb back. I don't think he knows the answer to that. I'll tell you that I think that he's definitely going to take a little bit of a hit. There's no way we're getting the exact same Ferguson going forward. Yeah, there's no way Kruger's taking over anytime soon. This whole fear of AI. Like, sometimes it's like, yeah, there's some jobs that are going to be lost, but right now, don't think it'll be this one yet. Maybe a couple years. Smitty, not sure if you covered it yet, but do you see the coach's comments about Hunter? You mean the one that's right on screen, Cody? Like right in front of your face? Fane, appreciate you. $10. My boy dropping the wad. 3-3 just traded JCM plus Algier for Chase Brown and Vidal. Then flipped Hall and Chase Brown for Gibbs. Home run. 10 out of 10 moving the players around there, bro. Team is now Lamar. That's a lambasting. You completely smashed him into oblivion on that. That was a radical trade if I've ever seen one. Insane. But yeah, Vlad, I don't think Fergie's going to maintain tight end 1 value. I think he could be top 5 to 10 for sure. And he's definitely a staple of the offense, in the offense, but it's not something that's going to be exactly the same for sure. It's going to go down a little bit. Kind of think of Kate Otten when Otten was being used, and then when all the wide receivers were back last year, and then he kind of vanished a little bit. $20 holler.
Chat alert.
$20 hauler from Apex. Apex says 10-team full PPR. Cook owner wants to trade him. He also has Barkley and Adunze. My team is May, Knicks, Jeanty, JCM, Mason, Sharps, Marks, London, Debo, Garrett Wilson. So you're probably going to have to trade like McBride and Trustin Fannin to go get Barkley. And I'd offer it 1-for-1. If you had to throw in JCM, I'd do it. If I had thrown injured Garrett Wilson with JCM for Barkley, I would do it. If you're talking about Cook, same thing. So if Cook is your target, I would trade Garrett Wilson and JCM for Cook. I would trade McBride for Cook. I would potentially trade JCM or Mason with Garrett Wilson or whatever. McBride for Cook straight up is a possibility, but you might have to throw JCM. For Barkley, you could do it straight up. Adunze, I'd throw Debo in for Adunze if that made that trade work, because I'd rather quietly like Adunze with the bye week out of the way, but they're pretty close. I do think Debo is going to, have a nice rebound game. I don't know that Debo's just going to vanish. He's still going to, it's more of the Washington Commanders flow of things. And Smitty, Sutton and JD5 play the Giants and Cowboys defense. I think I wait this week, let them get my points, and then trade high off great games. You could wait a week, my boy. I would definitely explore trades. I wouldn't not make trades based on that if the right offer came along, because you got to remember that you might be buying low on players that you can't buy low on next week. Like maybe a player you want right now is going to be worth double the price next week. So you got to entertain it. But I totally agree with your thinking that, if you believe a player is going to be more valuable next week, waiting is not a bad idea. We've got a $20 hauler from G Money and a $20 hauler from Racing Boy, dropping it like it's hot. Double 20s at the same time.
Alert.
Bunk
Super
bed
chat
style.
alert.
Hey Smitty, this team is 4-2, 12 team, half PPR. QB Mahomes, Judkins, Haskins, Hampton, Henderson, Harvey. Wide receivers, Puka, Buka, Rice, Bourne. What is a good trade to get Gibbs on my team? You're not going to be able to get Gibbs unless you give up Hampton. I'm sorry, Judkins. I just don't see it as a possibility. Unless you were to trade, let's say, I guess you could trade Puka straight up for him. Buka straight up for him, but I don't think that's possible. Maybe Hampton and Buka you could trade for. You could try that. If not, you're probably trading Judkins. But then again, it's like, if you do that, what do you do? Judkins and Hampton, you're probably not going to get it done for Gibbs. You could try. Puka Nacua for Hampton for Gibbs straight up is probably your best bet. If you were to go Judkins, I don't want you giving up Rice or Ibuka. If you gave up, let's say, Judkins and Ibuka, you'd have to get back Gibbs and another player, which I'm fine with. It depends on the other player, though. So that becomes more complicated, but I'm fine with that trade. You just have to make sure you let me know who that second player is that you're getting back. So it'd be Ibuka and Judkins for Gibbs and a very solid player. But I think I'd first try just Puka for Gibbs straight up. And with Puka being out, I think it's a good move for you. But you're 4-2. You also could wait on Puka, but I don't know. Puka's, it concerns me. He's always getting hurt. He's gone to the locker room 3 times out of 6 games now. And he's a monster when he's on the field. And I love Puka. We all love Puka. But those are the only ways, I think, to get Gibbs on your roster. Well, I had someone offer me JSN and a first for Tet and Bucky, but thought it was too much to give up. JSN and a first for Tet and Bucky. Honestly, it's not the craziest trade. Like, chat, what would you rather have? I love Bucky, but JSN in Dynasty probably does have more value than Bucky because he's a receiver. And while I love Bucky Irving, I think JSN does come with more Dynasty value. So then it's like a first rounder versus Tet. I kind of think maybe JSN in the first rounder could be better than Tet and Bucky in Dynasty in a vacuum, but also would depend on your roster. Can I get a vote on this, everyone? JSN, and look, you rejected it. You could maybe go back to him and get a little bit more, and he offered it. He might still want it. So I would probably take the JSN side. Chat, vote on this. I think the majority of the chat would take the JSN side. But maybe if this offer was a while ago, they're not going to want to do it anymore. Vote on that trade, please. Don't forget, guys, first of all, the player of the week brought to you by Gunner.com. If you want to get your pair of blue light blocking glasses like your boy Smitty.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Gunner.com. Blue light blocking glasses. Get a pair like your boy Smitty. I think I'll switch them out right now. Blue light blocking glasses are the way to go. My favorite have been the Clicks. Love the Clicks. The Clicks are the best. They fit the best. These are my favorite by far and away. Blue light blocking glasses are the way to go. You don't have to have sunglasses. I'm in a light box all day, so for me it makes sense to have a pair of sunglasses on top of them, but these are the Witcher. These are the let me show you this. These are they're not that big on my head. They're not bad. They're a little bit big for me. They have the sunglass version of this that I also have up there. But these are the Witcher, like the TV show Witcher. And I don't mind these. These are pretty awesome. But they have the sunglass version of them as well. But the link is pinned in the live chat.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Code Smitty.
By Gunner.com.
Code Smitty, 15% off. Code Smitty. These are the Witcher. And as you can see, it has like the leather sides as well. But these are the Witcher sunglass version. I'll wear these for a little while and see. I like these too. But Gunner.com. Link is pinned in the live chat. Link's in the description of the video. The link gets you 15% off as well as using code Smitty, but just use the link. It'll be easier. And you can get your pair of blue light blocking Gunners as well. So smash that link in the live chat. I've already got a lot of people that have ordered them. Smitty, I just ordered some and used code Smitty. Attaboy, Raul, appreciate you. Love these glasses. These are the Witcher. These are nice. These actually are pretty cool. I love the Witcher. The show is pretty cool too. I got to catch up. I haven't seen the last season of Witcher. Has anybody seen the last season of Witcher? These are Witcher glasses. I'd love to know if you guys have seen the last season. I don't know. I got to get back into it. 12 team. How many seasons did they make of Witcher? 12 team PPR, 2 flex. I'm 5-1. Team is loaded. Daniel Jones, Bijan, JCM, JSN, Rashi Rice, love the team. BTJ Pickens, is there any possible move I should make? I would say maybe try and move JCM and call it Pickens or BTJ for one running back. Cook. You can try for Gibbs, but you're not going to get Gibbs, but you never know. Cook is a good buy low right now. Judkins would be a great buy low. So you're trying to move BTJ and JCM for Judkins or Cook, or maybe Javante. Another running back would be Henry or Barkley. Dub, I think it's worth it for you to make that move. Your team is pretty solid. Dak over Hurts in Dynasty. I think you can get more. Worried about Debo's heel, kind of quiet on Monday. Yeah, I mean, but it should be better. His heel should heal up, no pun intended. So we'll see what happens. Could be a factor for sure, but he has more time to rest. So we'll see where it goes. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. This other super chat by Dub. Thank you, Dub, for this super. Guys, don't forget to order these. That link is pinned. Blue light blocking glasses are good for migraines, good for, just kind of calming your body down too. But like at night, if you have trouble falling asleep, like I do sometimes, I wear these. It takes the blue light out. Watch TV for a little while with them, and then all of a sudden you find yourself just like dozing, and you just take them off and set them aside and just fall asleep. They really are a cure for some sleep problems too. It's something about blue light. I mean, there's obviously science behind it for sure, but blue light can just really strain your eyes, and it keeps you up. Even if you're on your phone at night, if you're one of those people like me that looks at your phone, for an hour or something, and you're like, damn it, I should just go to bed. You have these on while you're doing it, and it can be the amber version. You don't have to wear sunglasses with blue light. I just wear them because I'm in a light box, and it gives me migraines to have all this light hitting me. If I wear the amber color, it does help a lot, and I typically don't get a headache or a migraine or anything with the amber ones on in here. But I do tend to like it a little darker with the sunglasses anyway. But blue light blocking gaming glasses are the way to go. They're just awesome, and Gunner's the best in the business by far. Gunner's amazing at it. They do it so well.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
They do it so well, like Lad McConkey. But they specialize in blue light blocking. But they have so many of these partnerships and associations, like with Witcher, the TV show Witcher, with Fallout, with what's this other one right here that I like so much. These are the ones that everybody calls them, like the Alien one. This is the, what is this one again? Overwatch. These are the Overwatch. So I love these. These are blue light and sunglasses. So they just have all these awesome associations and partnerships. So when you get the Fallout come in this case right here. This metal case. And it's really awesome designed. It says Fallout on it. It comes in this metal case. It's awesome. So when you open up the Fallout, oh yeah, these are them. So you open up the Fallout. It comes in this case. They're awesome. Well, the Fallout are probably my favorite. No, I'm sorry. The Clicks are my favorite. The Fallout are my second favorite. Although I've been wearing the Mustangs for years, so I do like the Mustang version of the blue light. G Money with a follow-up question says, trade away Judkins and Igbuka for Gibbs and Ladd. Yes, I would take that trade. Some of you might not, some of you might. I don't know. Guys, can we vote on this? Judkins and Igbuka for Gibbs and Ladd. I love Ladd McConkey. I think Ladd McConkey is far away from Igbuka when Buka's healthy. But Buka's out right now. Buka's probably out 1 to 2 games in the bye week. Just makes sense that he comes back in week 10. Love him, but I think getting Gibbs is huge. And I love Judkins, but Judkins is no lock. Give me the Gibbs side. That would be a fantastic trade, G Money. That'd be a really, really good trade. Thank you for the super chat, kind sir. We'll take very quick phone calls. Dial into the BentonPrint.com phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Benton Print for all your business printing needs. They are the owners of the Attic.shop. So this isn't just some random company that we don't trust. This is Benton Print. They've been gaining our trust for years with the Attic.shop. And so if you have any business needs, you call into the you call the Benton boys, Benton Print. Do it live. I'm talking like big business printing needs. They can handle all of that. You go to a trade show, you work for a school, you got a company where you need to print out tons of stuff. You need weekly stuff, monthly stuff, just one big batch order. Anything printing, signage, Benton Print does it. Keychains, cups, poster boards. They pretty much can do everything. Pop-up shops. They can create an online pop-up store for you. Clothing, apparel, everything. Benton Print does it all. So make sure you contact Benton Print.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
And you know that I trust them. You know that you trust them because they are the Attic.shop. They own the Attic.shop. Grindhouse, the Attic.shop. They've been a part of the Fantasy Football Show family for years. So they're truly trusted. I really only do sponsorships with people I really, really believe in. That's just kind of something I do because then I know it means something. Like when I talk about Gunners, you know that I'm wearing them. I wore Gunners before I did any sort of deal with them. I reached out to them initially and said, I wear your glasses, the gaming glasses, every show. And my people watch hours and hours, countless hours of blue light, and they're the perfect market for this product. Let's work together. I wanted to work with Gunner so badly because I believe in Gunner, and boy, am I glad that it's working out because look at this that I've got.
The Gunner Player of the
Look
Week.
at that setup.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
I don't know what pair I'm going to wear each and every day. All right, let me get on over to the phone line quickly.